It's 7 a.m. And this is a good time to start, partly because the roads are quiet, and partly because this is a good time for filling up with fuel. You see, in a morning when it's cold, and it is very cold this morning, fuel is more dense than it is on a hot afternoon, so you're getting a little bit more for your money. One thing though, don't, whatever you do, forget to take any unnecessary weight out of the boot. Right, I've got 19.8 gallons in the tank and a journey of 800 miles ahead of me. That means averaging 40.4 miles to the gallon. A tall order in a car as powerful as this. Even Audi say that what I'm attempting to do is impossible. They say this car will only do 37 miles to the gallon and that I won't make it back. There are one or two things I can do to help though. You have to make sure the car cuts as smooth a hole as possible in the air. Driving with the window down, for instance, increases fuel consumption by 5%. And to make matters worse, you can't use the air conditioning either, because that does even more damage. In a Honda Civic, for instance, if you get 36 miles to the gallon normally, you turn the aircon on, that drops to 30 miles to the gallon. You lose 6 mpg. In fact, you shouldn't use any electrical gadgets unless it's absolutely necessary. The heated rear window is a complete no-no, and heated seats? Forget it. Happily, the radio uses such a small amount of power that I can use that, but surveys have shown that fast, aggressive music causes drivers to grow lead feet. So thrash metal doesn't just hurt your ears, it damages your wallet as well. On this journey then, it'll be Radio 2 all the way. It's amazing how much thinking and concentrating you have to do to drive economically. You've got to think, is that guy going to pull out? I've got to match my speed to him, lifting off. You must never, ever brake. Ever, ever touch the brakes. Ever. If people concentrated this hard to drive fast, no one would ever crash. Ever. This is the northeast, where there are many hills, and hills are a big problem for the economy-minded motorist. The trick is to build up speed before you get to an incline and then try not to accelerate when you're on it. So, thrash metal for going down a hill, and then the carpenters for going up the other side. Reach the crest and off, and I've still only done 39 miles to the gallon. What more do you want from me? 6 hours on the road. I think I do want a wee. But I can't stop because that would mean starting the engine again, and starting an engine uses a load of fuel. So, New York taxi driver trick, and you're not allowed to watch. Now, if I'd come to Edinburgh in a petrol-powered Audi A8, I'd need to find a filling station. But thanks to the diesel engine in this one, I don't. The thing is, though, it might not need a drink, but I do. So, I think I'll find somewhere to stay, and we'll pick this up again in the morning. Time, I think, for a status report, and the news isn't good. We know it to be 400 miles back to London, and if we look at the trip computer, it tells me that I will run out of diesel in 340 miles. I can take some comfort from the good old-fashioned fuel gauge, which says I have half a tank. Good, half a tank to get here, therefore half a tank to get back. Except I didn't use half a tank getting here. I used half a tank plus the amount that was in the fuel filler pipe thing. And that was probably half a gallon. That's 23 miles. 23 miles that I don't have on the return leg. Now you're probably thinking, what is the big deal? I mean, if you fail, if you run out, it's not like you're going to skip off the Earth's atmosphere and be lost in space forever. That's true. But I will wind up on the hard shoulder. And A, that's illegal, driving on a motorway knowing that you're going to have to stop. And B, you can't just fill up a diesel engine from a little can and then set off again. You have to bleed the whole system. And do you think I want to do that on a hard shoulder after an 800-mile drive? That is why I really want to make it. Really want to make it. I can't see where I'm going. And I can't turn my heater on because I have no amps. I'm so cold. This is dangerous. I have to turn my heater on. Oh, that's so nice. But powering up the heater to demist the windows played havoc with the re-entry procedure. This is North Yorkshire, and that fuel gauge is now as near as makes no difference, really, into the red. I have to average 40.4 miles to the gallon, but since I left Edinburgh, well, I've only averaged 35 miles to the gallon. And that's nowhere near enough, just nowhere near enough. The fuel warning light is on. It's on as I go past Nottingham. So, Nottingham to London on reserve fuel. That's going to be interesting. At no point on this journey, and I've now been on the move for 15 hours and 17 minutes, have I exceeded 1,200 RPM, basically tick over. This engine must be thinking, what has bought the car? It must be the manager of a mattress company. But despite the careful driving, the trip computer still said I was going to miss London by 35 miles. Remember that scene in Apollo 13? Jim Lovell, Fred Hayes, the other one, in their little capsule, freezing cold, only got 12 amps to get back. Gotta shut the computer down. Gotta shut it all down. Shut it down now! We've never lost a Top Gear presenter on a mission. It's not about to happen on my watch. Except, of course, I think it probably is going to happen on my watch. Right, it's 45 miles to get back to the petrol station where we started, and I have hit a traffic jam. The computer's saying I've got 10 miles to go before I run out. The fuel gauge is off the bottom now. Things, I'm afraid, at this point, just outside Milton Keynes, they look bleak. So it's time really to do what they always do in Hollywood disaster films, and that's reach for a photograph of my children. It's my kids. Tell them I love them. If I don't make it back, tell them I love them so much. We're moving again. We're picking up speed. I'm up to 40 miles an hour. Come on. Yes, yes. I'm gonna make it. I've been told to expect a misfire before the engine actually stops. This is a sort of last-minute warning, an electronic kind of interference to say you really have got to stop and put some fuel in now. But still, I don't have this misfire. That's it. The computer is now saying no miles to go. What is this thing running on? Every single dial and readout on my entire spacecraft car is telling me I'm out. That's it. That was a cough. It keeps just coughing and then being okay again. I wonder if Audi know that they have inadvertently built the world's first air-powered engine. What is it running on? I can hear the fuel pump. A very, very, very faint whine. You can just hear it kind of sucking on nothing. I will feel if I can make it back. I will feel as though, I know it sounds ridiculous, as though this was a worthwhile thing. I mean, I've learned to drive quickly, now I've learned to drive slowly. Come on, come on! I really can't break down here, not in a contraflow. I would sack myself from motoring journalism if that were to happen. 1 mile to the end of the motorway. 1 mile. Damn, I can almost coast that. Come on! Come on, come on! I've honestly got like a tight knot in my stomach that I might just conceivably do this. That's not a red light. It is a red light for us. Holy mother of God, I can see the garage. Talking yards now, yards to go. This is the garage I filled up at yesterday morning. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how we do that. This car has gone from London to Edinburgh and back again with a V8 engine on 1 tank of fuel. I am absolutely lost for words. That is one astonishing car.